Hello and welcome to my post-placement video from my time at Buckley Park College. Teaching economics for the first time was a fantastic opportunity, as this was an area that I had not studied before and I was able to test my teaching capabilities. I was given the chance to teach students the content and assess their understanding for a test that all Year 8 students would be completing. This allowed for myself to be involved in the planning of the test and I was able to cross-mark with other staff members. Being a Year 8 class, there were going to be a range of students who had high capabilities and other students who had low capabilities. This meant that I would need to think carefully about how I would cater for a diversity of needs and learn about the students as individuals. The majority of students had a keen interest in humanities and were eager to learn, but like most classes, there were always going to be factors that impacted upon the learning. As the school was in the middle of exams, students were distracted due to room changes, substitute teachers, and the whole school being focused on senior students. I used this to my advantage and made it clear that although there were disruptions, class was still going to continue. During this period, teachers would be supervising exams and my mentor was replaced by other staff at various times. This gave me an opportunity to receive feedback from other staff members who provided different insights into my teaching and my classroom management. During professional conversation with staff members, I discussed different ways to engage student learning, promote student success, and different ways of planning. Planning, as explained by Shattuck, gives you the confidence that you are doing the right thing to achieve the right outcomes. I felt confident entering the classroom, having already come prepared with a lesson plan. I did not feel that it had to be highly detailed, but more of a guide that would continue the flow of the class and support classroom management. Being a new topic area, I needed to have a plan that I could follow and would guide me during the lessons. I believe the classes needed to be structured and that time should be allocated for students to ask questions and engage in a class discussion. When planning lessons, I thought about Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences and how I as the educator could accommodate to the individual needs of each student. I found that each lesson needed to be different, with different tasks and different forms of supporting material, i.e. videos, PowerPoints, images, and online programs. As Gardner describes, in a standard classroom, teachers talk and rely on books and diagrams to convey the information. Instead, I trialled activities that students had to physically interact with. In one of the lessons, students were given post-it notes that they were placed up on a KWL chart that broke down what students knew, what they wanted to know, and what they had learnt about economics. This was not only an engaging activity in which students were able to share their ideas with others, but it was an activity that students had to physically move around the classroom and had to interact with others. After each student had stuck their ideas on the board, the class and I went through the responses, and as a collective, we were able to learn from each other. Questions that had been asked were given answers to, and areas that students wanted to focus more on were identified. Web programs such as Kahoot and Padlet engage students' interest, and I've discovered that most students become quite competitive. Research tasks were another form of learning that I use, with posters, definition handouts, and source analysis being used to demonstrate student knowledge and understanding. I wanted activities that were less teacher-directed and more student-focused. Moving forward, I found that I benefited from reflecting, and as stated by Mazzano, those who do reflect upon their practice will likely become more successful and more understanding of their profession. After each lesson, my mentor and I would sit down and talk about the lesson in detail, in which I would receive feedback and guidance to identify my strengths and my weaknesses. Through professional conversation with staff during placement, I was able to gain a greater understanding for self-reflection and the various ways that have worked for others. Through trial and error, I found that organising the positives, improvements, and overall comments from each lesson into a table was a neat and presentable representation of what I had done during the lesson, and how I identified areas that were successful and were not as successful. By the end of placement, reflection had become natural and I found it to be greatly beneficial. An area that I would like to improve on is to be a stronger presence in the class. The main piece of feedback I received was that I needed to project my voice to manage classroom behaviour. I feel that this will come with both experience and confidence. From my professional placement, I've been reassured that I am choosing the right profession for me. The experience of being the classroom teacher was unbelievable, and having the chance to put things into practice was fantastic. I cannot wait to be a teacher, and I'm eager to jump right into the next challenge that awaits me. Thank you for watching.